Okay, e4. Yes, knight c6. Okay, why knight f3? Okay, that is one idea. Second idea is like when you get chance. Suppose if your opponent had played this e5, right? Then knight c6 would have been better because you are attacking that pawn also. So right now in these situations, especially when your opponent plays this knight, when there is no pawn on e5, then you can play d4. And why d4? Can you tell me? Okay, so the idea is like since there is no pawn on e5, you can play d4 because you will be controlling these many squares. So you are controlling the center. So now you are controlling four squares in the center. Okay, b6. Okay, that you can do, but right now you're not pinning this knight because there is a pawn there. So this knight can easily move somewhere else. So right now you can go for the piece development. Yes, so knight f3 is a good move because you are developing your knight. You are also, defending this pawn with one more piece, and then queen will be free to move. Yes, bishop b7. Yeah, tell me where. Okay, why not knight a3? Okay, good. So knight c3 is also good because you are going towards the center and also you are defending this pawn. Because what will happen is this knight may move in the next move there and then this bishop will be attacking. So you are defending this in advance. Okay, d6. e4. Where is e4? Okay, what is the idea? So if you play e4 right now, you have to keep in mind two, three things. First, you, you should not go for pawn break in the center till your pieces are developed. And till your king is safe. Your king is still in the center, then you should not go for these kind of moves. So first you should develop these pieces, then go for the cancelling, and then go for these kind of ideas. Okay, why c4? Why not b5? Which? Okay, then you come back there then. Okay, then you come back there, and then also you are attacking this pawn. So the idea is, suppose if you go to bishop b5 right now, first you are pinning this knight, because now there is no pawn on d7. This d7 pawn has moved one square. So suppose if your opponent is not careful and your opponent did not play this, then you can go this. So you can go d5, you attack the knight, and this knight won't be able to move because your bishop is attacking the king. So let's see what happens. So now the idea is, suppose if your opponent is not careful, we'll go d5, and then your opponent may attack your bishop. You go back, and again he will attack your bishop. Then you go there. So he will be able to save his knight, but what happens is you will have two pawns on e4 and d5, and these two pawns will be blocking this bishop. So this bishop will be not that active on this diagonal because your pawn will be blocking these two. So these are also the positional ideas, that first you always try to activate your own pieces. Second, you try to block your opponent pieces. Okay. Okay, if you cut, he will cut then. What you will do? Okay, you take his queen, then rook captures then. Now think ahead. You are going good. Now think after rook captures, what will you do? G5. Okay. After G5, suppose if your opponent plays this, and now your opponent will have these two pawns connected. Okay, so I was thinking of this move, like after. So what we are calculating is, we are calculating d capture on e5, d capture on e5, queen capture on d8, rook capture on d8, and now we are thinking. Now I was thinking. Uh, okay, so what I was saying is that we are calculating that d capture on e5, then d capture on e5, then queen capture on d8, then rook capture on d8, and right now we are thinking. So after rook capture on d8, I was thinking of this move. For example, knight capture on e5. So after this knight capture on e5, can this knight capture your knight? No, he can't capture. So what is happening is, after knight capture on e5, you are attacking. No, no, no. Wait. First, we are just calculating. So after knight capture on e5, you are attacking this knight twice with your bishop and with your knight. So definitely black will try to do something to defend this knight, because if black doesn't defend, then you capture with the bishop and give check. And then this bishop has to capture, because if king moves, then you capture the bishop also. So then if bishop capture, then you capture the bishop with your knight, and you will be winning two pieces in exchange of one bishop. But black has one move to save all this, which is knight e7. So like knight e7 will be defending this knight. So now we have to think, suppose if we play knight capture on e5 and black play knight e7, what should we do? Yeah, can we play this bishop there? If this pawn comes, then no. If we can't go to bishop g5, because we will have knight on e5, and if this pawn comes, it will be attacking both the pieces, and we will lose everything. Okay, after knight e7, are you able to see all this? Okay, so we are just calculating. After rook captures on d8, we captures knight e5, and then black played knight e7. What should we play? We can play this knight, I think. Yeah. We can go there. And if we go there, then we are attacking this knight also. And if this knight captures, then what should we do? Then we capture with this pawn, and then again the same threat is there. Yeah, this seems good idea. I think this move we found knight d5. Okay, so just re-verifying everything. So okay, so I'm just speaking the most. You tell me if you're able to follow that or not. Okay, so shall we start with this move then? No, no. That knight d5 comes, because if right now you go to d5, this that knight e5 will come after rook captures your queen. So now with pawn captures, first we capture the queen, and then rook captures, and then knight captures, then knight comes there, and then this knight will go there. And then this knight capture this knight, and then again you are attacking this knight with three pieces, one pawn, bishop, and knight. So most probably we should be able to win a piece. Let's see. If your opponent goes for like this move, then I think we should be able to win a piece. Okay, so I'm just checking again. Like you tell me wherever you are not able to follow. So now suppose D capture. Okay, he played something else. Okay, can you tell me why he played this? Maybe he want to castle the queen side. So listen, when you know that your opponent is trying to castle on this side or that side, you should try to prevent that. So I am just thinking how we can do that. You also think. So we have various options. For example, you can capture the pawn, you can play there, or yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you capture this, then you capture with a pawn, and then what will we do? Okay, suppose if you play your bishop, then but then he will play his bishop. Okay, there I was thinking, like for example, if we capture this pawn, uh, so he has two options. Like no, he has no, he can capture with this pawn, or he can capture with the queen also, and he can capture with the bishop also. Suppose if he capture with the bishop, can we play this e5? And you know, because suppose if this pawn is not there, then we can capture the queen and force the black king to capture your queen back. And then the black king will be losing his castling rights. Okay, suppose if we play that capture this pawn, if pawn captures, then again we play this. Then if pawn captures, we capture the queen first, and then king captures, we capture this pawn, it comes with a check. And we are also attacking this pawn, because after we capture this pawn, we'll be attacking the rook also. Yeah, this move I'm liking. We should capture this pawn, I think. Yeah, no, you are right. Suppose if you go to this, if queen capture, then what should? Okay, we capture the queen. Then, for example, okay, pawn captures. Then no. So suppose if pawn captures, we can go, for example, there, attack this knight twice, and then to defend this knight will go there, and then we will go again. So it's like same idea is working again. And if this bishop captures after we capture his queen, then we will play this. Because what is the idea of e5? This bishop captures, like neither this knight can't move, neither bishop capture. Because if bishop capture, will capture the bishop, and this knight won't be able to capture back because of this check. So yes, shall we capture this, and then while we analyze, we will see all the. So now if queen capture, we'll capture the queen. If anyone else capture, then we are going to play e5. Shall we play e5? So because the idea is this bishop can't capture, we'll capture this. But now this queen may go there, and then we won't be able to capture because of this check. So like if queen goes there on e7, then what should we do? Okay, so he has gone there, pinning our knight. Yeah, if he capture the queen, then he'll be losing his castling rights, and it's good for us. Yeah, we can do that. So just think again. Like whenever you find a good move, think again. So we have option of castling, right? So just think what are just think what are the other move you may have. Oh, so I'm thinking of a move. L- Like for example, if you play e6, okay, so if pawn capture, then we'll play knight e5 check, and we are attacking the knight also. And this knight won't be able to capture our knight because of this check. So, but I'm thinking like after this knight e5 check, this king may go there. Okay, what should we do if king goes there? No, but if you go there, your knight is already there. You know, there is a move. So, and like for example, yes, so this we are calculating after knight check when king goes there, and if king goes, for example, there. Okay, that is one idea that you can win a rook, and also you have other option. Like for example, you can simply capture this knight. So when you capture this knight, if this bishop capture, then you capture with your knight. And this, like when you capture with this knight, it will come with a check on king, and you will capture this bishop also. So we have many tactics in this position. I think this move seems good. Okay, but suppose, yeah, we'll play this, then we'll see. So after this, suppose if king goes there, okay, king. So now, so this we didn't see that king captures. We only saw the pawn capture. So this is our mistake. We should have been patient and calculated this also. There. No, what is the benefit? This king will go again there. Which, okay, suppose after this check, if king goes there, I'm thinking, what, bishop g5? Okay, after bishop g5, suppose if you play f6 and attack your bishop. Okay, okay, what about this move? Knight d4 check. So to defend this knight, he has to either go to d6 or d7. So suppose if we go to d7, then maybe we can bring our bishop to give check. Yeah, so after knight d4 check, if we go to d7, now we have to think. So if we go to d7, like still this knight is pinned, and then maybe we can castle and bring our other rook into the game. And not only castle, we will, like, we need more pieces to attack. This king is in the center, so we have good amount of chance to checkmate. So yeah, let's do that. So now he will either go there or go there. Shit. So we are doing too many mistakes. So we were thinking that this knight won't be able to capture because of this, but there is no king there. Hmm. Okay, now it's interesting. So we are a piece down. Let's see how we'll play. So this position also may occur in your game, like you can do mistake and you are a piece down and still you have to play. Okay, we do the castling, this knight goes there. And also this knight is attacking our bishop. I think castling is a good option, but before castling, we can save our bishop, like going there, give check, and then we can do the castling. Okay, now we have to be very careful and play really well to at least hold for a draw. Yeah, then you can play b1. So shall we castle? No, he can't take our rook because, like, if he goes there, then we'll play this. Okay, he captured the knight. So now you should, yeah. So now we should be very careful because what is your opponent is doing? He have one extra piece, right? So he will try to simplify and exchange as many as pieces possible. But let's see. Whenever we get chance, we will try to get our piece back. Okay, now your rook is, yeah. So now keep thinking for all the moves in advance. Okay, because of this knight, we are not able to play rook even and give check. Shall we attack this knight? But I'm thinking from where to attack, like from there or from there. B3 or D3? D3 you are saying? Why D3? Yeah, bishop d3 is good because this rook will be open on this file. So that's because if you play bishop b3, then this bishop will be blocking this rook. This knight is gone. Can you see this? We are able to capture this knight back. Can you see this? So we are winning our piece back. But he has this move. Okay, now also I am thinking like suppose because if you capture the knight, this bishop will capture, attack your rook, you move your rook, this bishop will go back. So I am thinking like suppose if you capture this knight, and then again we will attack this knight. And then also this knight can't go anywhere. No, but this knight can go there on this square because we will be blocking this bishop. Okay, so when this knight goes on a2, we will give check. No, we will not give check. We will attack the other knight with our rook. And also we are pinning this knight and we will be discovering attack on knight a3. So can you see all that? So now if this knight capture, we will attack this knight. But then he has this move. If he play this, then we will play this. So now this knight goes there and we will go there. So at least one of the knight will be able to capture. I'm just thinking of this move also. Yeah, other knight will be able to move, but then we can capture this knight. So like after this move, the black will have to defend this knight. He will play this. But when he play this, we can play this move to attack knight, and still this knight won't be able to move because the king is in the same file. But I think this move is better. We are attacking two pieces at the. So now this is really I don't know. We may still do some mistake, but this looks nice. So that is why we have to be very good in our calculation and tactic. Now he will be only +1. Okay. Okay. Now I'm telling you we are winning. And then yeah, because after you give check, he can simply go to like on maybe on this file, and then this knight can move. Not this file, but maybe there. No, but it's okay. Let's capture the knight first, and then we'll see. No, I was, yeah, yeah, now we will win. Now for sure we will win, and I want you to find the move. Now we can go to +2. So take your time. So I'm telling you, I'm giving you hint. So I'm telling you can capture the knight on e4. You have to find out. Yes, you can move f3 and then this knight is gone. Because this knight won't be able to move because this check is there. So he will lose one more piece. Shall we play this? So now whatever black does, we are going to capture this knight. No, he did not play interesting. We played really bad. Shall we capture this knight then? Okay, now we have to try to checkmate him as early as possible. So now we have like many moves like this check, this check. You have to tell me which move is better. Okay, why? If we go to c4, okay, he capture your pawn then. There is a better move after king capture on this c3. Like for example, you can bring this rook back on f3 and give check. Now you have a rook on e4 and you have a rook on f3. This rook is controlling this rank. This rook is controlling this rank. And this king has to go down, and whenever it goes down, you can use your rook and you will be able to checkmate on these two files. I think we should try this and then let's see. But we will not give him time. If we go to f2, he will go there. We should not let the king run away right now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you go to bishop b4, think where this king will go. And if he goes there, then we can give this check also. And then if he play, for example, there, then we can give this check, rook d2 check, because this bishop is saving our rook. And then this king goes either this side or this side, and then we give this check and it's mate. Shall we try that? So now we are on the verge of checkmating our opponent king. He has two rooks which are not moved. Tell me which check we should give. F2. Okay, then this king can run away. Yeah, so we have to be very careful in these kind of positions. Like whenever you are trying to checkmate, always be careful not letting the king run away. Now it's a checkmate in two. You tell me how. You take, you have 10 minutes. You have to find the checkmate in two, take your time, calculate everything. You have to find two moves for you. Okay, king goes to c1. Okay, if king goes and if king goes to even, then your rook will be blocking your bishop. If he goes to even, f2 or f1. So the checkmate is you go to d2 check, and then if king goes there, then this rook f1 is mate. And if king goes on even, then also rook f1 is mate. So now king has only two square, and on both square it will be a checkmate. So now we will quickly analyze this game. Yeah, so right now, see, this engine is also showing d4. That I was telling you that we can play d4 and control these many squares. Okay, right now engine is showing we should have played d5 and it is showing plus 4.05. Let's see what happens because I was also thinking of d5, but then I was thinking he can go this. No, no, no. If he goes this, we capture the knight. It will come with a check. And if bishop capture, we capture the bishop with our pawn and we'll be winning two piece. Yeah, this is what we missed. Like for example, now you go to d5. We we either capture with the bishop, and then if bishop captures, then again we captures. And when we like if we have an option of capturing the pawn also, and if he capture bishop, then we capture his bishop. So in the both the captures, we are winning the bishop and knight and only losing our knight. Bishop. So this is what we missed in the beginning. Yeah, this move also, we were discussing whatever, like if black capture with bishop or with pawn, we are going to play e5. And computer is also saying e5. Yeah, till now we were playing good and then we did a blunder. So this was the blunder. And now we had the option of castling first or saving the bishop. Not saving exactly, yeah, because right now, like after castling, if knight capture, then we have this. But this bishops are more powerful, of course. So we should definitely save this, and that is why Indian is also saying we should play bishop c4. Yeah, so this was the move that we were found. We found this rook e2 move, and this was the move also we found. And this also. So now we are exactly following the best moves. So after blunder, we became more careful. So now computer is showing checkmate in 6. So now we will be able to checkmate the black king maximum in six moves. Yes, yes, tell me. So this is the checkmate that we did. This is exactly what computer is saying. We need to see this also because like we found this bishop b4 check, right? Computer is saying there is also the other way to do this same thing. So he is recommending this check. And now king goes there. Then you go there. Yeah, it's more complicated. Our was more simple. Okay, so let's learn from our mistake. Right now, this was a blunder that we did. Okay, so only this was our like major mistake in the game. Okay, so